Well, I feel like everybody has already gotten an earful of good news from both of our guests today about what could get better about education, but we still like to end every show on some specifically positive news from everybody here at the table. So, Connor, why don't you take us away? Anything good going on?
You know, I think there's a lot of good stuff going on. I like to be an optimist, and for all the challenges that we have, there's still a lot of great things happening. I'm going to pick a related one to our subject today. There was a study recently out of the UK finding that kids are reading more and they're reading longer, more complicated books, which is improving moods overall. This was triggered, they found, as a result, of course, of COVID, as kind of a coping mechanism to solve boredom and being at home a lot more. But the response has been very interesting as the study's authors and others were talking about the findings in the study. I'm more curious to see what the long-term implications are. We've often had a literacy problem of kids reading for leisure and for enjoyment. I think we have a civic literacy problem where hardly anyone reads books anymore, especially history. And we all know the quote, those who don't learn from the past are condemned to repeat it. So we do need to be a society of people that reads. I think it's, especially as a children's book author, it's great to hear that kids are reading more now and going to be more engaged. But that gives me a little bit of hope and something I think we can hopefully continue.
No, that's great. I can attest. My daughter picked up reading in a huge way this year, went through at least 12 novels, just really put them down, and also picked up chess and can beat me 3 out of 4 games that we play. So I will always take that as a silver lining for the year. I'll go next for me. So this is bad news for most people, but the crypto market wiped out this past week. So there
Don't rub
was,
it in.
there was, I know, I'm so sorry to rub it in, but there was a crash of about 1 trillion in market value for cryptocurrency. Just tons of losses. Bitcoin, which is 40% of the crypto market, took about a $30,000 dive. It was huge. Now, it has since rebounded in the past 24 hours of when we are doing the show. But my good news is pulled out 1 week ahead of time and got myself some nice things. And so it's one of those things where I had to learn how that whole market works. I'd never done investing. I had never had stocks before the past year as well. And I also decided to try doing small dollar crypto buys, you know, in the spirit of like diversifying, right? And so I think the one thing I learned this year, which I just wanted to share with people, was like, if you're wanting to find out about how stock markets work, if you're wanting to find out how cryptocurrency works, just little bits at a time. Just try small dollar stuff, things that you'll never miss. The best way to invest in anything is money that you will not miss at the end of the day. $5 out of every check going into small dollar stocks as well as crypto, and then you see what works. And at the end of the day, I've got stuff in this app called Stash, Coinbase, Prize Pool, and there's just all these different services of which you can save and invest money and make a little bit of money. A good best practice for anybody.
Sounds like some
Stephen, you don't
passion-driven
need Elon
education.
Musk. I was going to say, you don't need Elon Musk to be giving away Dogecoin. Sounds like you can give away your own.
Yep. I'm here.
And they didn't teach you all that in the public school system, did they?
No, they didn't. I remember learning about investing in my public school in 7th grade. They taught us like the stock market for 2 days, like actually got on the computers and worked on it. But it all went in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, it's not the same thing as actually doing it with your own money.
With your own money. Yeah, don't treat it like Vegas. Just $1 at a time.
Yeah. So last bit of good information. I've kind of hinted at it earlier, but look, the teachers unions have provided essentially free advertising for the school choice movement over the past year. And, you know, look, if anybody's on Twitter, just look at Randy Weingarten's Twitter feed. She's the president of the 2nd largest teachers union in the United States. And every time she tweets, I think she strengthens the push for school choice more and more, because it's just completely tone deaf, and it really shows that she's really trying to backpedal and change the narrative on the whole school reopening debate over the past year and what's happened with the teachers unions. And look, on the ground, over 13 states have already passed legislation to fund students as opposed to systems. That's huge. This is the year of school choice, 2021, and it's the teachers union's own fault. And 2 of the biggest ones in particular were West Virginia and Kentucky. They'll have this 2 largest education savings account programs in the nation. They essentially went from 0 to 100 in a year when it comes to school choice, and that's going to be a great thing for thousands of children across the nation.
Thank you, Randy Weingarten. So this has been Right Now, Stephen Kent. Thank you so much for watching. We got new shows every single Thursday and videos throughout the week. You can follow us by subscribing or liking us on all the social media platforms at RightlyAJ. We will see you next week.